good audience. No refunds. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, our next performer coming up, this guy has been doing comedy for a while. He took the workout. Really awesome guy. Can we give a warm Offside public thank you last welcome to David Keane.
Thank you, Stu. Thank you, everybody. I just want to say this is my favorite thing to do, so let me get into it. My name's David, and I'm from Canmore. Don't be too impressed. I rent. I really like living in Canmore. It's a good place. But our economy is based on the strategy we call screw the tourists. And I don't have a problem with that. It's more than when I go to the grocery store, they don't know I'm local, so I have to pay $18 for rent. I'm in my 50s, in case you can't tell. I'm officially at that age where people lie to me about how old I look as a weird form of a compliment, right? They're like, at 53, well, you could totally pass for 48. Who the hell wants to pass for 48? Who's out there going like, oh yeah, 48, that was the golden year. Falling downhill since 48. Yeah, it's either that or the only other compliment we get is, I like the color of your shirt. That's it. Hey, I really like the color of your shirt. Yeah, thanks. It was clean and on top of the basket. Look, I get it. I try to dress snappy, but I've got a weird body. Right? I've got a weird body. I've got the torso and head of somebody who's like 6'4", perched on the legs of somebody who's like 5'3". And I've heard it all. I've heard it all. They're like, hey, you look like a short guy who had half a wish granted. And that used to really bug me until I started following the body positivity movement. And they taught me that I'm not weird and I'm not broken. I'm special. Folks, I might be the world's tallest midget. When I first started saying that, people were like, oh, you can't say midget, it's offensive. It's offensive. Well, who am I offending, right? This is my, hey, Laura, hey. This is my body, right? This is my journey. I'm not offending anybody. I'm changing the narrative. I'm taking the word back. I'm taking away the word's power. They'll say, yeah, midget is derogatory. Yeah, but remember when nerd was derogatory? Look at those guys now. Everybody wants to be a nerd about something. When I say midget, it's not derogatory. It's proud. It's brave. It's resilient. But the haters will still say, no, just use the term little person. Well, I can't say little person. First off, I'm not little. Next, if the world's tallest little person, this is a person, it doesn't mean anything. It's like being the richest bum in the homeless shelter. Or the best looking woman at bingo. Oh, is there somebody here who hasn't been bingo? Yeah, they shut down bingo over Stampede, so this is what you gotta do. I'm a member of Generation X. Are there any other Gen Xers in the crowd? Yeah, right. We're the last cool generation, aren't we? Yeah, we had the Fonz, we had Danny Zuko, right? Magnum P.I. What do these younger folks got? Like PewDiePie, whatever the hell that is. I don't know, Dora? But the Gen Xers in the crowd, do you remember when we were the here for a good time, not a long time crowd? The plan was to, live fast, die young. Now, how's that working out for everybody? Yeah. Now we're on plan B. Live slow, die eventually. Well, we were young once, we were cool. Do you guys remember pre-gaming? You know? Before we would say, pre-game, woo! Before we go to the bar, or the club, we would go to a buddy's house and do shots. Some of you guys would maybe do a little MDMA or a little coke, a couple bumps of coke to stay on point. Yeah. What's that look like now? A little different. Pre-gaming's different now, eh? I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's a nap. The only pills I'm popping are Tylenol, while I try to think of an excuse not to go out. Maybe on my way, somebody said, that always gets people like, me too, I don't know why I'm here, I couldn't think of anything. It was less for sex in an alley after Cowboys. I made the right choice. See, Trevor, I'm looking at my hands. That's an inside joke, that's it. has it tough now? Bums. Bums. Yeah, bums, and I'll tell you why. Bums have something in common with payphones. You never see them in nice places anymore, and could you imagine touching one? But they both used to kind of base their economies on people having pockets full of change. They don't have pockets full of change anymore. Does anybody here hang around with bums? They'll always telling stories about the good old days. We weren't really that long ago. They'll be like, yeah, remember when everybody was walking around with pockets full of change? And when they give us some, it actually made their pants fit better. Remember a bum would come up to you? They'd be like, hey buddy, you got any spare change? You did. So you'd reach in, you'd pull out a handful, you'd keep the loonies and the toonies, and you'd throw them in there, and you'd feel like you just solved homelessness. Maybe I had like a dumb buddy who was jealous of the bums. Hey, don't give him any money. He makes as much as lawyers do. I don't know, he doesn't look like he makes as much as lawyers do. They don't smell like lawyers, do they? They just shit their pants like that to stay on brand. Now, a bum comes up to me and asks for spare change, and I feel like I gotta break the news to him. Buddy, it's 2025. I don't have change. Nobody has change. We have change in the past with like fax machines, and Blockbuster Video, and flirting at work. Yeah, that's true, yeah. I remember the good old days, yeah. Learning at work used to be the best. Anyway, I was talking about bums, yeah. We have to break the news to them. Yeah. Now, the solution is, I think bums should have the tap. Right? Because that's the problem. Okay? We don't have it right? Imagine one of those guys coming up to you downtown and being like, hey, can you spare $10? And then he pulls out a square reader. You'd have to think pretty fast to get out of that one, wouldn't you? What I'd do is I'd say, oh, absolutely. Did you take American Express? And I'd beat it before he asked for my debit card. The only money I carry around now is this. My Superstore cart loonie. And I'm not giving that to anybody or anything. This is the one thing that keeps me from being one of those people in the grocery store carrying their shit around in a basket. You see these weirdos? The best is when they're doing it and they're trying to act like they meant to, like they intended to, like they legitimately had a choice between a basket and a cart, and they chose the basket. Losers, they just can't hang on to a loser. Now, the only place you need to use that loony though is Superstore these days. And that's not my favorite grocery store. I like to go to Costco. I love everything about Costco. Good prices. Woo! Why do you say woo about Costco? You work there? Oh, thank God, I'm going to make fun of people who work there. I would have lost like 30 seconds of material there. Yeah, so cheap hot dogs, and that wonderful ritual when you leave, where you have to give your receipt to the guy, and he like draws a marker with a Sharpie and gives it back to you, then you can leave. What the hell's up with that? Like, this guy knows that they put the shit in my cart, right? Not me. I don't know what you're looking for. Could you imagine having a job that useless? Hey, welcome to your first day at Costco. You know, you've got a pretty good job. Good money, good benefits, you can wear what you want. What do you do? Oh, nothing. Nothing. No, you don't do anything at all. But you have to stand on your feet all day while you do nothing. Yeah. Oh, in this store, it gets thousands of people. And they all have to line up in front of you so you can do your nothing. Yeah. Yeah, no. They're not allowed to leave until you do your nothing. Here's your Sharpie. Welcome to Costco. Job is there. Yeah, quit now. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I was in Costco a couple of weeks ago, and we were walking around, and we see this old guy. When I say he's an old guy, he's an old guy, right? Like as old as people can get. He's 90 or 100 or whatever the upper limit is. His like last days of Jimmy Carter, gray skin stretched over his skull, mouth hanging open, vacant eyes, begging for death. And he's in a wheelchair. He's got oxygen, the whole 9 yards, and he's being wheeled around. And I couldn't help but think, should this guy really be buying bulk? Lifetime supply of everything. even, like one at best. All right, I'll leave you with a joke you can tell on Monday. This old guy goes to get a, what's that thing they call me? Carol, what's that thing they call me? Stick the thing in your mouth? Colonoscopy. The old guy goes to the doctor to get a colonoscopy. And after it's done, the doctor comes out and says, I've got some news for you. And when you hear it, you're going to wish I was an astrologer. Cancer's in Uranus. Thank you very much, everyone.